Thank you. I feel really good, really grateful, just happy to be healthy and looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season holds for me.
Without a doubt, the pressure to perform would be very high for Julien Alfred. After being the first of her country to ever win an Olympic medal, and a gold at that. She is a sensation and a star, no question about it, but for her.
And I just want to stick to who I am and just remain grounded. That's really what I can. Also trust in what God has in plan for me and just really going with the flow.
Still, her rising fame means that almost every move is under the public's close scrutiny. At only 23, she has already been through so much. At 12, she had lost her father. At 14, she left home on the Caribbean island of St. Lucia to pursue her Olympic dream. Fast forward to 2023, when Alfred emerged as a genuine Olympic contender after going close to the world podium. 1 year later, she won the Olympic 100-meter title at Paris, 2024. In September, she had a St. Lucia national holiday named after her. With her first global outdoor title, she not only delivered the first Olympic gold in St. Lucia's history, but also the island nation's first Games medal of any color. She had achieved it in the Games Blue Riband event, running the race of her life to beat world champion Sha'Carri Richardson in a national record time of 10.72 seconds. Not only did Alfred make it to Paris, but she left the French capital as a double sprint medalist, following up her historic 100-meter triumph with Olympic 200-meter silver behind American Gabby Thomas 3 days later. On her return home, Alfred was greeted by the Prime Minister, and the nation's streets were lined with support as she was escorted around the island in a motorcade, with several days of organized celebrations, culminating with Julien Alfred Day. Having seen the impact of her successes, she is determined to use her influence to develop the sport in St. Lucia, while also promoting her country on the global stage as a tourism ambassador. It's such an amazing feeling. Life has changed in so many different ways, Alfred said. Using what I've done on the track to promote my country, that's life-changing. But also, just seeing how much of an impact I've had on so many people's lives. That, to me, is also life-changing, she added. After the government of the country declared September 27, 2024, Julien Alfred Day, another honor was bestowed upon St. Lucia's most famous sportsperson. The Millennium Highway is going to be renamed after me, Alfred said of the kilometer-long road that winds along the northwest of the island. It probably won't be the last memorial celebrating the greatest sporting achievement in the history of the nation. Undeniably, the current women's sprint scene is one of the fastest and most competitive in history. Not only does it make Alfred's victory in Paris even more impressive, but it also shows just how prepared she will need to be to retain the title of world's fastest woman. However, the accolades are not the things that propel her forward. Getting to the point that I want to get to, working hard towards that, putting my country on the map, proving to myself that I belong among the great athletes, she explained, before adding, "My motivation is to be the best in the world, to be my best self, the best athlete I can be, and to prove to myself that I belong here. That's my source of motivation." This year, she aims to continue her way to the top, and she's off to a great start. In late March, the 2025 Texas Relays concluded in spectacular fashion with a dazzling performance from Team International. It was a star-studded quartet featuring Julien Alfred of St. Lucia, Jamaica's Akeelia Smith, Great Britain's Dinah Asher-Smith, and Ireland's Rasidat Adalek. Blending power and poise, the team clocked a winning time of 3 minutes and 25.20 seconds to capture the women's 4x400-meter invitational title in emphatic fashion. The winning time was both a meet and facility record. Adalek got the team off to a solid start before handing off to Asher-Smith, who kept them in contention. Alfred surged on the third leg, making up ground and handing the baton to Akeelia Smith, who closed strong to take the win ahead of Empire Athletics and Team USA Red, respectively. Not long after that, The Olympic 100-meter champion opened her outdoor campaign by beating Jamaican sprinting star Shericka Jackson in the rarely run 300 meters at the 2025 Miramar Invitational in the United States. Jackson may have started with a bang leading the field in and out of the bend, but Alfred finished with a flourish in a national record of 36.05 seconds. The Jamaican, on the other hand, finished 0.08 seconds behind her, with Ivory Coast's Jessica G. Bai taking third in 36.24 seconds. Alfred, the rising star from St. Lucia, took some confidence from the race as she is showing some good speed endurance this early in the season. Going forward, I am just going to keep on working hard and trust myself, Alfred said after the race. When Alfred lined up against World Jackson at the Miramar Invitational, it wasn't just a test of fitness. It was a test of composure, confidence, and execution. Coach Flo told me before I left Austin, just go out there and win. That was the assignment, she said. We weren't overthinking it. We've just been putting in the work. The time may not have been as fast as she wanted due to wind conditions, but Alfred was more focused on how she felt during the race. Her calmness about defeating one of the world's most accomplished sprinters speaks volumes about how far Alfred has come mentally. She then went on to begin her 200-meter season in style with victory at the Tom Jones Invitational a few days ago, with a world-leading 21.88 seconds run in the opening heat. This was her first 200-meter race of the season, having claimed Olympic silver in the event at Paris 2024. The St. Lucian double Olympic medalist's performance was just 0.02 seconds off her national record, which was set in London in July 2024. She's off to a great start, no question about that. What people questioned was her absence on Michael Johnson's Grand Slam track. However, Julien Alfred has never been one to make a move without a plan, so there's definitely a reason for her absence. Despite the publicity and change the league is proposing to bring to the sport next season, Coach Edric Florial apparently asked his athletes to sit out, even though they were approached with an offer. Just didn't see a fit for us, said Irish sprint queen Rasidat Adeleke in an interview, adding her coach had his reasons. Just so you know, Coach Florial currently trains several top athletes, such as St. Lucia's Paris Olympics golden girl Julien Alfred, British sprint queen Dinah Asher-Smith, and Adeleke, as well as being the head coach at the University of Texas. Others suppose that the decision also had to do with timing. With a tight outdoor schedule, including her 300-meter finale at the Miramar Invitational on April 5th and an imminent focus on the 100-meter and 200-meter, Alfred has other priorities. She's building towards something bigger. While Jefferson makes waves in Kingston, Alfred is plotting her own path. Mind you, Julien Alfred will contest a key part of her Wanda Diamond League title defense. With appearances at the Bislett Games in Oslo and Bauhaus Galan in Stockholm this June, she will be out to defend her Diamond Trophy in 2025, with Oslo and Stockholm providing two early opportunities to get points on the board on the road to this year's final in Zurich. Alfred will compete at Bauhaus Galan in the Swedish capital on June 12th, before taking the train with fellow athletes across the border to Norway for the Bislett Games on June 15th. Which races will this athlete take part in? See for yourself.